What is up, everyone? I am Demon Cringe, and today it is time for Thank the Watchers number 10. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the weekly, or at least I try to make a weekly show where I feature up to 5 of my watchers at random, and feature one of their pictures that I find most awesome. So, for this episode, I have a pretty colorful lineup of pictures and all that, so I really hope that you all enjoy it. So, without further ado, let us get on with it, shall we? Okay, so our very first artist is called Ambiver, a digital art hobbyist. Anita, a female from Poland. She's been on DA for 2 months, and the work I'm going to feature her is Lovebirds Lions. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I really haven't featured a picture quite like this. This is a very, very beautiful looking, picture, a painting, a digital art painting of 2 lions, basically being in love and all that, and with a nice little rainbow and a sunset in the background, which is pretty cool. So first off, I gotta say, I really don't know what exactly I like the most in this picture, like either the line work, the coloring, the lighting and shading or whatever. I don't know, I just wanted to feature this picture because it is just so beautiful. Like, how could you not like this? I mean, come on. I don't know, I guess the thing that I really like the most in this picture is pretty much the vibe that it gives off, this whole beautiful peaceful and serene vibe, like these 2 lions, they're just, so happy and all that. And probably because of how, like nice and natural looking the lions are. Like, the lions are so well drawn, the anatomy is, just huge. It's like a really huge strong suit in this picture, and I honestly don't know where the master stroke in this picture is, but I know that it's here somewhere. And to me, honestly, there really isn't anything wrong in this picture. In fact, when I took a look at the gallery, I actually wanted to feature all of them, but I had to decide on just one. So I went with this one, not just because, it's such a pretty picture and all that stuff, but because I really haven't featured anything like this, because it really does seem like you just have everything down. So yeah, that's about it. And Bever, thank you so much for watching me on DA, and I really hope this video gets a lot more recognition than it already have. Now let's move on to our next artist. Okay, so our next artist is called Dragon Wolf Splash, Throw All the Tables, a digital art hobbyist. Alexia, female from the United States. She's been on DA for 1 year, and the work I'm going to be featuring from her is Gift, the Eyes That Could Stop Time. And the first time I actually saw this picture, I thought it was some like How to Train Your Dragon fan art and all that. So I don't know, maybe I need to watch the movie again to get a good look at the dragons and all that stuff. But anyway, I really wanted to feature this one because it really does have a nice setting. There are some things that could use a little bit of improvement, and I'm gonna get to that soon. But I really do like, like the whole side portrait, type of look at this picture, honestly. So firstly, let's get to the things that I really do like. I do obviously love the eyes. Obviously they're supposed to be like the eyes that can stop time, so they're supposed to be like a really, like the main focus of the picture and all that. And also I really do like either bright or glowing eyes, as you can see on my character, of course. I also do like, how the coloring, really goes well with the background. I think darker colored dragons, like with brightly colored eyes, actually really do go well with a night background and all that. I don't know, maybe that's why it kind of reminds me of How to Train a Dragon and all that stuff. Kind of reminds me of Toothless. Especially since Toothless is the only dragon that actually doesn't look like crap in How to Train a Dragon. Now, here are the things that I don't like, and, this is the first thing that really caught my eye when I, stopped to look at it a little bit more, and it really kind of annoyed me because I really don't like this method. This right here with the lighting, this method of lighting and shading kind of really bugs me out because it basically just looks like you used a, like a soft eraser or whatever. And of course, I obviously know that, with this, you're still practicing and all that, but, try to make your shading look a little bit more natural, like this, it just looks way too, way too artificial. And now for the second thing that I kind of don't like, these patches over here. Like, I really don't know what the hell these are supposed to be. They're probably supposed to be dirt, I think, because I actually do remember I did a Thank the Watchers with the dragon, and it did have patches of dirt like this. But I really kind of don't like it because it basically just looks like it doesn't belong and all that. It kind of looks a little bit tacked on. I really do like how you did the lighting from the eye, As you can see, the lighting from the eye. I really think you should have done lighting quite like that. Like with the neck and all that stuff in this. Keep on practicing and you'll improve very quickly, believe me. And our next artist is called Purple-moonflower. Woozy is cute. A other student, whom I don't, can't read that. Female from Hungary. She's been on DA for 1 year, and the work I'm going to feature from her is Splutsona, and yes everyone, it has been a while since I featured a picture with a Splatoon character, especially an OC, and it is actually pretty refreshing since Splatoon 2 is out, and it's actually pretty fun. I actually played it at a friend's house, and while it is a pretty good game, I honestly do not want to buy an entire console because of one game, you know? That's basically why consoles are pretty much dying out, because the only life support they have are exclusives. But despite that, I actually do, you know, like the game. I think it's pretty fun, and of course, the people that make all this fan art and OCs, they're actually pretty talented, and I really love it when fan communities, you know, make such nice pieces. So first off, the line work. I really do love how they did the line work, especially with the tentacles, you know. A lot of people might think, you know, it's like really simple to draw Splatoon characters, and while that might be true, it is actually pretty difficult to get it to look almost exactly how it does in the game, you know. Like, you really have to experiment a lot with different shades of color and all that stuff. It's not just about the shape, it's also about the coloring itself, which is also pretty nice. The coloring, I think, is really well balanced, especially over here on the ears, you know, from the lighter to the darker tones. And over here I can see on the jacket, you know, these nice little decals, you know, like with the in-game clothes. I think I actually did see, you know, clothes like this in the game, and I do think it's this is a pretty good recreation of it. Now, the anatomy of the character actually does look pretty good, you know, exactly how they look like in the game and all that stuff. But I do have one little issue with this. Over here, as you can see, the wrist kind of looks like it's a little bit detached. So, I don't know. I guess, I mean, they are squids, you know, like squids are boneless. So, I guess they could detach their arms whenever they feel like it. So, I don't know, maybe that was intentional, but it really does look kind of funny and all that. Overall, it is a pretty good picture, you know, like especially love the coloring on the tentacles and all that stuff with the different shades of color, and of course the shading itself. You know, very akin to how it is in the game and all that stuff. I think he did a really good job. And of course with the wrist over here, I do think you could use a little bit more practice with that, and that is pretty much it. So thank you so much purple-moonflower for following me on, for watching me on DA, and I really hope this video gets a lot more recognition than you already have. And our next artist is called Genevieve, the storytelling minstrel, a varied hobbyist, Jennifer Mueller, a 24-year-old female from Germany. She's been on DA for 4 years, and the work I'm going to be featuring from her is Steven Universe, the Inspired One, and the Inspirator. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, when I first saw this picture, I honestly didn't think it was from Steven Universe. Honestly, this has to be one of the most unique pictures of Steven Universe I have ever seen, you know. And I honestly did not know what the hell it was until I actually read the description. So it's supposed to be like a forced fusion, which if you don't know what that is, basically shattered gems, you know, pieces of different shattered gems were like forced to fuse together, and they created these, you know, like these gem monsters, you know, like that. You remember that one scene where Garnet was fighting the hand monster and all that stuff? That's basically it. But it looks like this is like a forced fusion that developed its own like you know, stable consciousness and all that. It's pretty cool. Like, for example, how the hair is made of arms, and there's one leg that's a tongue and all that. This one over here, I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. Like some semi-turtle lizard body or roots, tree roots or whatever. I don't know, it is actually pretty interesting to look at. And if you actually take a look at the description, the artist says that it has taken them 3 days to complete this picture, which in all honesty really isn't much of a surprise, because let's face it. And if you take a look at the description, you know, the artist says that they needed 3 days to complete this, and in all honesty, it really isn't much of a surprise, because, you know, when you take a look at something like this, obviously there has to be a lot of, you know, effort put into something like this. This really isn't something that you make in like a few hours or so. This really has to have some, you know, dedication put behind it. And in all honesty, I really do like this, you know, like a what-if concept of these force fusions forming their own, like, stable or somewhat stable forms and personalities being able to communicate and whatnot. It basically kind of seems like the universe itself, you know, like order out of chaos and all that, so it is a pretty awesome concept to explore. I really hope to see more pictures like this. So basically, the things that I like the most about this picture are, you know, like the amount of creativity put into it, you know, the dedication, and just the sheer amount of detail put into this. I mean, I could honestly keep looking at this picture for like a whole hour and still be like impressed. So that's about it, a name that I cannot pronounce. Thank you so much for watching me on DA, and I really hope this video gets a lot more recognition than you already have, because you sure as hell deserve it. Now let's move on to our next and final artist. Okay, everyone, our last and final artist of this episode is called Selva Lucy Star, page under construction, a varied hobbyist. Lucy Rip, a 15-year-old female from the UK. She's been on DA for 2 years, and it seems like even if she's been 2 years here, her page is still under construction. Okay, and the working at a featuring her is Our Trade Cat. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the name of the picture, Our Trade Cat. And I know what some of you might be thinking. You're probably thinking, oh my god, Dev, this picture uses way too much of the color black. You know, it's not all that special, blah, blah, blah. And in my opinion, it actually is. It is super special because this is pretty much the spitting image of what happens when you perfect using one color. You know, like when you perfect using like different shades of just one color, it's just so good. You know, and not only that, it really does show that you do not have to have a huge, you know, color palette. You can do huge with a lot less, honestly. And another thing that this picture really does shine at is the amount of details it has. You know, like a lot of people would probably think, oh my god, you're using too much black, you can't see all the details, and in all honesty, you actually can. Which is another signing point of this picture, because you can just see all of the details, like over here on the dress. You can even see the individual strands of hair and all that, even here, you know, even over here. And of course, if you take a look at over here, you can just see these, you can see all of these laces clear as day. Like, you really don't have to focus too much. You can just see them without even zooming in, you know, like everything goes so well together. The balancing is just immaculate in this picture, honestly. You know, the color and lighting balance is just so awesome. The colors of the irises matching the colors of the bows over here gives a little bit of variety to the color palette and all that. And as you can see with the bows, they have these little wrinkles and bits of shading inside of them. Again, huge attention to detail, you know, definitely gigantic thumbs up. Keep doing this. The hands themselves kind of look a little bit too simplistic and all that. I mean, I can tell that by the look of the face you were going for a specific style, but I think this hand right here could use a little bit of improvement. The wrist looks way too skinny, and on this hand right here, like, the fingers really don't have like well-defining lines like they do on this one. So I guess kind of work a little bit more on that, and you'll be golden. Like those little irises right there. So basically that's about it. All I can say is you really have like a nailed, you know, like color balancing and, you know, lighting and all that stuff. You can see all the details, you know, despite the whole image being like a different shades of black and all that stuff. So keep doing that. And of course, work a little bit on your hand anatomy. So that's about it, Silva Lucy Star. Thank you so much for watching me on DA, and I really do hope this video gets a lot more recognition than it already have, because you sure as hell deserve it. Well, everyone, that about wraps it up for Thank the Watchers number 10. Like I said in the beginning, a pretty cool, colorful, you know, lineup for this episode and all that. I honestly hope that you'll give all of these people a nice little watch. And as always, be sure to subscribe and press the little bell icon. And as always, I'm Demon Cringe, and I'll be seeing you guys and gals in the next video.